With me right now is this man's lawyer. Mark Hall is joining us from Louisville. He is the attorney for Joshua Gouker. Mark Hall, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Nancy.
I don't quite understand how the plea went down for your client. Your client just, goes into court? It was a blind plea? In other words, no negotiation, no plea deal whatsoever?
That is right. Mr. Gouker informed me that he wanted to plead guilty. We obviously tried to convince him not to do this, that it was not in his best interest and it was a bad idea. But he chose to go forward. There was no negotiation. There was no conversation with the Commonwealth about it.
Mr. Hall, you know, I've looked into your background. You've got a fine reputation. But do you ever worry about the rest of us? I mean, you're trying to get this guy off the hook. You're trying to get him a lighter sentence. Do you ever think about the good of everybody else? Who wants this guy? He's killed a cat. He's killed a dog. Now he's tortured and murdered a 14-year-old boy. Why would you want him to get a lighter sentence, Mr. Hall?
Well, I think that, you know, our system of justice is based on due process and being innocent until proven guilty. And I firmly believe that. I have been a prosecutor in my past, and I understand being able to bring evidence in order to convict a person once they're guilty of a crime. But I also, being on the other side of the cases now, also understand that it's very important that in order for our system of justice to work, that we have to hold the Commonwealth accountable and ensure that when they bring charges against a criminal defendant, that they have evidence to do so.
Yes, I get what you're saying, but it's all starting to run together. Can I see Mr. Hall? There he is. Mr. Hall, just promise me one thing, that Gouker doesn't have your home address.
Mr. Gouker is firmly secured in the state prison system, and I believe he's probably going to be there for a good while.
Yeah, a good while. I want to talk to you about that.
He's eligible for.
He didn't get life without parole. He should have gotten the death penalty in my book for killing a child, but he didn't get life without parole. Why? Who was the judge that gave him straight life?
Well, under the charges that he was charged with in the state of Kentucky, in order to be eligible for the death penalty or life without parole, there has to be aggravators under certain statutory guidelines. And Mr. Gouker, unfortunately, or fortunately for him, I guess, the crime just
didn't charge him.
It wasn't charged, and there was no aggravators filed. But I'm not certain under the statute that he would have been eligible for that anyways. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hall, isn't one of the aggravators in your jurisdiction a particularly heinous crime?